The AI Toolbox, my favorites. New discoveries of the year. And as I was introduced, I'm Hewie Poplock. Now, I was here a year ago, and actually, I think I did it live. And this is very similar to the cover page that I had at the time. It was part one. This is kind of like part two, but it's going to be a lot different and a lot more examples. Uh, the reason why is AI has compounded every day what it can do and how well it does it. It's just amazing. You'll see some instances of that just since I've started putting this together and finalizing it. There was a big change. So I'll talk about that as we get going here. Okay, so this is my new cover, and notice the how different it is from the other cover. And AI produces things like this. Okay, let's have a little introduction here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. Just over a year ago, we gathered together for a presentation called Embracing the AI Age with Practical Applications for Seniors. At that time, many of us were just beginning to hear terms like ChatGPT, AI image generators, and prompt engineering. Artificial intelligence still felt new, mysterious, and for many people, a little intimidating. Over the past year, something remarkable has happened. AI has moved from being a curiosity to becoming a practical tool that millions of people now use every single day. These tools are helping people write emails, summarize articles, create images, organize information, edit photos, produce videos, plan vacations, learn new skills, and even serve as personal assistants. But here's the interesting part. The AI world has changed so quickly that many of the tools we explored last year have already evolved dramatically, and dozens of exciting new tools have appeared. So today's presentation is not about theory. It is about discovery. Welcome to the AI Toolbox, my favorite new discoveries of the year. Today I will share some of the newest AI tools, websites, and features that I personally use and find genuinely useful. Some are simple, some are surprising. A few may completely change the way you use your computer or smartphone. Most importantly, everything you will see today is designed for real people. You do not need to be a programmer. You do not need technical skills. You simply need curiosity and a willingness to explore. So sit back, relax, and let's open the toolbox together.
Let's have
Good
some
afternoon.
fun. Okay, this is a repeat from last year because I thought it kind of gives an example of some of the things you can do. Now, this is only available on your phone. It is not available on PC, but it's called Revive, and this is what I did with it.
Your birthday, your birthday, your birthday, happy birthday. It is your birthday, it is your birthday.
Okay, now here is a list of just the top 50 Gen AI web products by visits. In other words, these are the top of the AI apps that are out there, but there are thousands of them. And knowing which ones to use is like anything else with a computer or with your phone. You just have to learn about it and kind of keep track of it. But that's a job in itself because every day there's new things coming out and new versions of some of the more powerful ones and most used ones that are out there. I do have a group that you're all invited to if you wish. It's called Let's Talk AI, Artificial Intelligence. It's on Fridays, the fourth Friday of every month, and it's online on Zoom, and it's a discussion group. But I show examples, and then we start discussing things, and different people who have been trying things or have questions about AI we answer them and have a good discussion for a good hour once a month. And you are invited. All you have to do is send me an email at Hewie@Hewie.net, and you see it on the screen there. Just send me an email. I'll add you to the list. I also am a co-host of Tech for Seniors every Monday, again on Zoom, but also on YouTube live, and then the recording is on YouTube on our YouTube channel as well. It's every Monday. We open the doors at 11:30. We actually start at noon. It runs a little over an hour, and then there's a Q&A at the end. And you can see our newsletter, see our website at techforsenior.com. And then I also host the WinSig, or Windows Special Interest Group, for the Sarasota Technology User Group and the Central Florida Computer Society, the second Sunday of every month. Again, you're invited to join that. Sign up for the newsletter at Hewie.net and send me an email, and I'll send you the link where you can sign up for the show. Once you do it, you're signed up, and you'll get reminders, and you can just join us the second Sunday of every month. Okay. Also, I have videos and I got information in so many different places. I found this program or app called Linktree, and it created a menu for me. And if you go to linktr.ee/HewieP, you will get a menu as you see up there, and that menu will take you to each of the places. So I don't have to put up a whole bunch of links. You just click on it, it'll take you there. Okay, enough about me. Let's get started here. Have you ever wondered about the recent updates in Windows 11 and how they can transform your experience with your computer? Well, in Sunday's Windows SIG discussion, a slew of exciting and essential topics will be covered. Sit back, relax, and allow the world of technology to unfold. First on our list is the fresh Windows. Have you ever wondered about... Okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing. That's an introduction I did a couple of months ago for my WinSig, but it was done with AI. That's my voice, but my voice has been recorded, and all I have to do is type in text, and it will put it with the video. So here's some different ways I use AI, and again, remember I use it to create all kinds of images and so on. So you'll see I use it for data research, refining visual prototypes, creative prompting, research, brainstorming, translation and localization, and many other things that you're going to see tonight. Again, this was part one. The recording for it, it wasn't the one I did for you. It was done for a group called Cajun Clickers out of Louisiana, but that is the website and on YouTube where you can watch that video. That will be pretty close to the presentation I did a year ago to your group. Okay, here's a way I use AI, and it's a website. It's called your all-in-one AI learning assistant. There's several things that I can do here. AI YouTube transcriber, AI summarizer, voices, images, and so on. I'm using the free version. I do not use the paid version. And what I use it for is I'll post one of my YouTubes up there. Then I will put the address of that YouTube right here on the screen. And when I do, and I hit generate summary, what I get is this. I will get the entire script printed out for that video. And you can do this with any video. And it also will give a very thorough summary of everything that's discussed. And then the other thing I can do is I can go to chapter and click on chapter. And when I do, it then gives me all of the chapters. In other words, in individual sections of that video, and gives me the timestamps. I put that on the YouTube description, and you can click on, let's say, 14 minutes and 55 seconds into the video. you just click on that number and it's a link. It'll take you right to the prompt engineering for AI interaction on that recording. Another program that's out there that's called Notebook LM. Now, this is an example of the Notebook LM page. We're going to get into this. This was one I did for Cajun Clickers again in Louisiana, but we're going to let's do that with the Sun City Center. So what I did with it was Sun City Center is one of the things I did was to get a picture of Bob, and Bob was nice enough to send me one. And I said, here's the script that I want Bob to read, and let's have Bob read it.
2026 issue of the Journal serves as a comprehensive guide for members of the Sun City Center Computer Club, detailing upcoming events, educational resources, and administrative updates. This edition highlights the launch of a new smartphone special interest group designed to provide member support during the summer hiatus when regular classes are suspended. Featured articles provide technical insights into the evolution of Wi-Fi technology and alarming statistics regarding cybercrime trends reported to the FBI's IC3, particularly those targeting older adults. Readers can also find a schedule of May classes covering topics like AI, essential club information including membership dues, laboratory hours, and registration deadlines ensures members remain connected to the community's technological services.
Thanks, Bob. And here's another picture that Bob sent, and then I added some voice to it.
To get to your email, you tap this button and the email app opens. Then you will tap on an email to read. To reply, tap the arrow that points to the left.
And so just by taking a photograph like on left, I was able to add a voice and whatever I wanted it to say, and I could pick the voice out from a whole list of different voices in order to do that. There's a lot of uses that you could have with that. One of them is to take old pictures of, let's say, your family. Let's say we're all seniors, so a lot of our parents, or even in some cases our spouses have gone on to greener pastures, and we've got some pictures of them, and you can take those pictures and tell it, okay, have it come to life, and you'll see people doing it. Now, I did it with a group of people where I live, and one of the ladies' husbands was there, and he was on a bicycle, and we had a whole bunch of people out in front. He was on his bicycle, and then he rode the bicycle across the front of everybody. And he was deceased, or he is deceased now, and that was never a video. And one of the things that I was very hesitant, and I never did put that up for public viewing, is because I don't know, sometimes people take grief in different ways, and I don't know how this lady would have reacted to see her husband actually moving in this picture. So you got to be careful with some of these things as well.
To get to your email.
Okay. Now, if you'll have gone to your own website, you'll see this picture at the top of the screen on your website. I was able to take this picture, take it through AI and remove all of the printing, and I got this picture. Isn't that neat? And nice and big and everything, but watch this. What else I could do with it?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sun City Center Computer Club.
And that was done with AI. He didn't say that. And you people, the people who were here that time, you didn't wave like that. All right, let's get back to Notebook LM now that I started to talk about before I showed you those examples. And the thing about Notebook LM, and it does come from Google, and it is free. And what I did is I took your May 2026 journal from your newsletter, and I put it in there as the only source. You can put a whole bunch in there and have it do all kinds of things with sources, but I did it with the one source, and it gave me this one paragraph. And if you read through it, you'll realize that's what Bob read in his video. I just took that and I said, okay, use this voice and have Bob uh, voice it and have it lip sync it, and it did very nicely. But also, you can do some other things with Notebook LM, and those are things over here. So one of them is to have it create a slide deck or a video overhead. So let's see what I did with each of those. This is about 10 minutes long. I'll play some of it, and if we have time at the end, I can come back and do it, but I'm afraid I'll run out of time. But
Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, I am so excited to dive into this with you today because we've got something truly fascinating on our hands. We're looking at a document that just perfectly captures the wild, totally rapid evolution of technology, how much we rely on it, and the absolute vital importance of digital safety. And the best part? It's a hyper-local source. We're talking about the May 2026 newsletter from the Sun City Center Computer Club. What's so amazing about this specific little journal is how it effortlessly bridges the gap between the awkward dawn of personal computing and the massive billion-dollar digital threats we're facing today. It is literally a perfect microcosm of our modern digital age.
But to really appreciate where we are right now, we kind of need to take a nostalgic journey back in time just to establish a baseline of tech innocence. I'm talking before Wi-Fi, before smartphones, way before global cybercrime syndicates. Back then, there was just this simple, super blocky piece of plastic, the 1983 Microsoft mouse. At the time, this thing was a complete novelty. It was a totally brand new way to even interact with a screen.
And the tech community actually gave it a pretty hilarious nickname. They dubbed it the green-eyed mouse. Now, yes, it physically had these little green buttons, but the name was actually a really clever nod to the Shakespearean green-eyed monster of jealousy. Why? Because it was the worst-kept secret in the industry that Bill Gates was incredibly envious of the mouse-driven graphical interfaces that Apple was putting out at the time, like the Lisa and the Macintosh. Microsoft was playing catch-up, and honestly, they only sold about 5,000 of these clunky things before they had to go back to the drawing board and design a newer version. All right, so here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, tech history, the green-eyed mouse. Second, unlocking faster.
okay, like I said, this is a 10-minute video, so I'm not going to do the whole thing. What it is, it took your monthly newsletter and made a video out of it, and had somebody talk to you about it and have it very interesting. And that's something that you can do every month if you want, and put somewheres, Bob, that people can listen to the newsletter, or they can listen to a summary of it using that Notebook LM. The other thing it can do, it can create a slideshow or a PDF, and that's what I've got here. It actually took the entire magazine. It was these your slide decks 1 through 9, and then 10 through 14, and so it talked about everything that was in the newsletter and was able to make it visual. Something else that I like to use in the same vein for presentations is, and you might think of using ways of using this in your lab, is create training with AI using gamma.app. Now, I do pay for this. It is somewhat limited in the free version. I think there's a free version, but I do use this a lot, so I pay for it. But what I'm able to do first, I click on something and it'll say, okay, generate, and you can do a presentation, a web page, a document, social or graphic, and then it starts out is 10 pages, but you can set it anywhere from 1 to 75 pages. But once you get past 20, you're into the paid. Once you're past 10, actually, you're into the paid version. Once you're past, I think 60 or 70, you're in the pro version, which is even more expensive. But you can do this fairly cheaply. And when you click on generate, let's see, I said, what is the Sun City Center Computer Club in Florida? And I said, generate an outline. And so it gave me, and I said to do it in 3 cards. So it gave me an outline in 3 cards. And then what I said is, okay, generate a slideshow. And this was what it generated. It took a picture here, and it's 3 pages long, but I only showed a little bit of the beginning of it. But you get an idea what it's like. And then you can also tell it to generate the speaker's notes, so someone could actually look at the speaker notes and read them and do a presentation without ever having to put a PowerPoint together. It does the whole thing for them. It is really fantastic, and it does a great job. Uh, and then you can also choose what you want it to look like, how much detail you want on each of the pages, and whether you want it to have AI images to give spacing on there, and you put your own images on, whatever you can do it whatever way you want, and as you do the same thing, you hit generate and it creates it. Let's take a look at this one now.
Here's an example of how I might use AI in my everyday work. I'm on Facebook. There is an image that's got a lot of websites. If I click it, it makes it bigger within Facebook. I want to take this and I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to save the image as, and I'm going to save it as powerful apps your PC has always been missing. I'm going to tell it to save it, and it's going to overwrite because I've been practicing. Now let's go to Google Gemini. We could do it with any of the chat bots, but we're going to do it with this. We're going to say OCR this image. OCR means optical character recognition, which means turn the image into text. So we're going to say upload the file. We're going to click here and we're going to upload that file. So then all we have to do is say, okay, do it. And we now have a text. All of the information. This right here is this is a copy. So I copied all of that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say take the list and add, let's say its link to each app. And we're going to click this. Let's see what we get. It divides each one up by sections, search engines, YouTube alternatives, and so on. Let's just test a couple of these. Let's see what this is. Okay, it took us to that page. And we'll come back here. And let's find another. Only Office. And it took us right there. So all of the links look like they may be working. We might test all of them first. We'll come back and there's our list. So we want to come down to the bottom. We want to click here, copy it to the clipboard. Then we're going to do this. We're going to go to Word, open up Word, tell it we want to open a new document, and then we're going to paste. And we now have all of that information with them as links, and we're going to then save it, save as, and we'll give it a, here's a complete list, and we're going to say save it.
So that's a way in which you can, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but you can utilize AI to do chores that a lot of times you used to do by hand. You'd take that whole list, you'd type it, you'd have to type it out because it was a picture, and then you'd get it typed out, and then you'd have to go to each one and look up and find out what the address was or the URL for the website, and then somehow make it all work. This way I did it, and you saw it live. I think I just cut out about 10 seconds of it, and that was about it.
Here's an example of how I might.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here's another way in which I use AI. Let's take a look. Here we're at the APCUG YouTube channel. And what we want to do is now we want to get the link to it. We'll just copy it. And then we're going to go to a website from Kaji. And it's a summary website. So we just have to paste in the link to the video we just captured and tell it to summarize. In a matter of seconds, we'll have a summary to that video. It was about 10 seconds. And here it is in one paragraph. Okay, so that was a 1 hour video that we got into one paragraph, and so you get an idea what it's like. So for a lot of you, you want to look at something on any kind of a video on YouTube, you can use this and go ahead and get a summary of what it is. And do I want to watch it? Oh, okay, this is what it's about. No, it's not anything I'm going to be interested in. Here we're at the APCUG. Go to the next. Okay, my go-to AI app is Galaxy AI. And there's a video that I did on Galaxy AI. And it says it's over 3,200 AI tools. Actually, there are over 5,900 AI tools now on Galaxy AI. But wait a minute. Oh, this is the Galaxy logo. And this morning, I go to log on to it and it's got a different logo. And I said, oh, something's happened. Something's wrong. And what they did is then they put this screen up. Introducing Magica. Galaxy is now Magica. A new name, same magic, now literally. The only autonomous general purpose AI super agent with access to every top AI model that matters. Chat, image, audio, video, ads, websites. You describe it, it creates it. And so since yesterday, I have a whole bunch of slides in this slideshow that are outdated now because they did this. I didn't change them. So let's take a look at what Magica or Galaxy AI is. And if you're on YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, they advertise heavily on Facebook for Galaxy AI. But here's what Magica looks like, because they've changed it. You may see some, it'll say Galaxy up there. Those are earlier pictures that I captured. But you can see there's 5,933 tools, and you can choose by clicking in here. You can say, I want text to video, or I want video to video, or I want text to image, or I want image to text, or I want create a newsletter, or whatever you want to do in AI. This program will take you to something that'll allow you to do it, and it's cheaper than one subscription, but it takes in all of the major AI programs. It's called an aggregator, and I use it heavily. I got at Christmas time, they had it on sale. So instead of the normal $15 a month that I'd be paying for it, I'm only paying $8 a month, which is fantastic because I get my money's worth. And you can also go out to, if I don't know if you can see where my mouse is right here, it says free credits. For every day, if you sign into the website, you will get free credits. Now, their credit system's crazy. I have 156.97 million credits. But to create one of the videos I did for today, it used 1 million credits or 9 million credits. So trying to figure that out and why they did it that way, I have no clue. But apparently they have a reason, but it's hard to figure out. But when you're going to create something, it usually will tell you what it's going, how many credits it's going to cost you. But if you subscribe to it, you will get 15 million credits every month, and they accumulate. And then if you also go and get the free credits, you get more. So you can do anything with this. You can use GPT Image 2. You can get free credits, like I said. There's AI Influence Studio. You can create videos. You can create newsletters. You can take a picture and have it write the prompt for that picture and then use it. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. And here's some other tools. You can use something like Kling AI, which is one of the major image and video creators. And you can use it instead of having to pay $20 a month or $30 a month for Kling AI just by itself. It's part of this Galaxy AI or Magica AI. Now, there's other aggregators out there. I don't get anything for this. It just happens to be one that I use. And I actually, here's an example of some of the things that came up on one screen of some of the tools. Chat with AI, Chat Arena, AI Prompt Library, Photo Studio, YouTube Summarizer, Headshot Generator. It doesn't shoot your head, it takes pictures. AI image generator, and so on. It's just all kinds of them. As I say, there's over 5,900 of them. And you can use any of them as much as you like, as long as you stay within the available credits. And they're quite liberal with the credits. And as I said, you can get free ones as well. I'm drinking Diet Coke. I don't think you can see me taking a sip, but it's not beer. That comes after the meeting. Okay, here's something else you can use AI for. And this is what I wrote in, let's see, this was Perplexity. And it says, many years ago, I went to a restaurant in Orlando. They served an appetizer. Well, let's AI tell it. This is Perplexity, and I wanted to find a restaurant that serves something that I had many years ago, and I didn't know what it was. And so I wrote that I went to a restaurant in Orlando. They served an appetizer that I liked. I described it. They actually then, when I clicked it, they actually gave me some pictures and said steamed artichokes. Based on your description, you're almost certainly eating steamed artichokes served with a dipping sauce, likely melted butter, which it was, or garlic butter, or a butter-based sauce, and so on. And then it gave me more information about it, some more pictures, and then I followed up by saying, are there any Bradenton, Florida restaurants that serve it? And it said basically there's nobody who advertises it, but here's some possibilities of places that might have it. So whatever you're looking for, all those questions, you go to Bob or you go to any of your other helpers in the computer club. Well, sometimes you don't have to bother them. You can just, I don't mean to take your jobs away, guys, but you can go here and you ask it a question and it will not only give you the answer, it'll give you other possibilities. What things do you want to do? I'm thinking about taking my website from GoDaddy and rebuilding it and putting it on a cheaper hosting company. And so I asked AI, how easy would it be to take my current website and copy it to a new location? It's going to be easy. And it went through different ways in which I can do it, different hosting companies, different ways to maintain it. And we had a conversation back and forth, and it filled in and answered all of my questions like I was sitting there talking to Bob. I did a video on Galaxy AI. I'm just going to just quickly kind of browse through. I pretty much talked about these things, but if you want to see the video now, one of the things you can do is change the aspect ratio of a picture. In other words, if you have a picture that's narrow and you want to make it wide, if you just drag it, everything gets stretched out and it looks terrible. Well, you can use AI to go ahead and resize or extend it. If it's a small picture, it actually adds to it. Now, let's see what else we got here. Image to prompt generator, reverse engineering, creativity. Here is the original picture. And I said, okay, give me a prompt for that picture. And believe it or not, this is what the prompt ended up to be. And so I put that prompt in and said, create a picture of it. And it came out this. Look how close it is to that. And I didn't have to make any of this up, or I didn't have to think about it. I just took a picture that I liked and said, okay, give me a prompt to replicate it. And there it is. And then I also text to image with image gen is what I used, but then also AI talking photo with Hedra. And again, Hedra is a program that's available through Galaxy and now Magica AI. So let's take a look. AI talking photo generator. Turn your photos into talking videos with AI. So you can do it a couple of different ways.
Welcome to Tech for Seniors. We are showing you various ways to use AI with me as the model. I hope that you are learning some of the ways to use AI.
Or
welcome to Tech for Seniors. We are showing you various ways to use AI with me as the model. I hope that you are learning some of the ways to use AI.
So you can have it any voice you want. It could be a male voice if you want it. You can put whatever voice you want in whatever accent or whatever language. Most of these will allow you to do it in multiple languages.
Welcome to
Okay, and here's the workflow and the tools. So visit Galaxy AI, explore all the tools, and there's lots of them. When this picture was taken, there was 5,400 tools, so they added another 500 after I did that screen capture. Okay, so I like to have fun with AI, so here are a few items that I created recently. I dreamt that I was with Sofia Vergara, so I created this. Oh, I got to do that again. So you can dream all you want. But sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it either. I don't know. Some of you probably have made drinks in your lifetime. And this is, I said, make me a video on how to make a whiskey sour. Now watch this carefully. There's the whiskey, there's the mix, and now he shakes it nowhere's near the glass. Let's look at that again in case you missed it. He puts everything there, and then they're shaking the shaker. It's got nothing to do with it. So sometimes it doesn't always work the way you want it either. So just bear that in mind. Okay, and let's go to the next. Oh, and you can do other things. I have fun, as I say, I have fun doing these things.
It must be 5 o'clock somewhere. It must be 5 o'clock somewhere.
So I have fun with it.
It must be.
So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for some questions. I'm going to stop the share. You'll be able to see me. It looks like some of you stayed, so that's good. I'm glad you might have seen some things that you were not aware of that AI could do. There's a lot more you can do, obviously. But I wanted to give you an example of some of the things that are out there. And these are all things that I'm doing and using AI for. And so there's something else. I got an email and I have to respond to it. And I really didn't know how to do it to make it really sound good. So I put the original email I was going to respond to in AI, and I said, give me a response that I can send back to this person about the subject. And it gave me 3 or 4 different ways I could respond to it. I picked out one and sent it. And I've done that for a couple other things where somebody said, please write something about somebody. And I said, okay, give me a little bit of detail. I did. Put it in AI, and they said, oh, Hewie, that was the greatest way. You just expressed yourself so well, and it was so well done. Thank you so much. And I didn't do it. AI did it. All right, Bob, we got some questions?
Yeah. These are all cloud services. So they're connected, so you're connected up through the internet. Do you see any slowdown based on connection speed? Do you need a minimum 100 megabits per second or 500 or 1,000 to get the kind of responses you're showing?
I heard bits and pieces of that, Bob. Is there a way you can repeat it, or somebody, if there's a microphone that you can hand somebody when they're talk.
Let me try again. I'll hold the microphone up this way. Any better?
I don't know. Go ahead and say something.
The connection speed is what I was concerned with. Are there any limitations based on connection speed between you and the server?
I think you're asking about connection to the internet and connection uh, to the cloud. For all of this is pretty much done in the cloud. Now, in order for it to be done on your computer, you have to have a very powerful computer because you've got to have all that data that it's going to find loaded into your computer. And that's where the computers that you saw were AI. I can't remember what Microsoft was calling it, an AI enabled computer. Well, that just gave you the power in order to download some of these huge resources of information and then have it do it locally. And then there's some other things now that you can do on computers where you can use just the things that are on your computer and not share them with the rest of the world, do it all locally, and then have it find files on your computer and get information from your computer and so on. But for the most part, what you're hearing about, you got to have so much power, and they're building all these great big data centers and so on. The data centers they need to keep all of the information this AI uses, but that doesn't really affect you. All of this was done on my computer, but you could have done this. Some of these things I can do on my iPad because it's all done in the cloud. I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I hope I did.
Hewie, with using the cloud, if you're going to be running any of these programs, do you need a fast internet speed?
It uses the cloud and something about the internet, and I did not hear all of the question.
Over here. If you're using these services, do you need a fast internet speed for to be able to run these services, or can you just use it with a normal?
Most of them, yeah, a normal connection. Obviously, something very slow will be slow, but since the processing is going on in the cloud, it's not affected by your computer or your internet connection. It only once it comes up with it and sends you information, the faster the connection, the quicker you're going to get it. But a lot of it does take sometimes to create some of the videos and some of the audio things and so on. It might take 15 or 30 minutes, but it doesn't matter if you have a fast computer or a slow computer because it's being done with their information on their data centers.
Okay, anybody got any other questions? Please.
I have 10,000 family pictures. My Aunt Irene is going to be 100 years old. If I show AI a picture of Aunt Irene, can it find all the pictures she's in?
Okay. Her Aunt Irene is going to be 100 years old. He's got 10,000 pictures of her. If he was to show the AI a picture of her, could the AI find all of the photos that she's in?
Well, actually, if you have them in Google Photos, you can within Google Photos you can say, okay, Aunt Mary, show me all the pictures of Aunt Mary, and it'll go out and it'll show you all the pictures of Aunt Mary that are on your Google Photos. That's one of the neat things about Google Photos. But somehow you're going to have to get all those pictures digitized, and somewheres where some kind of software or something's going to be able to look at them. It's not going to open the shoebox and tell you what pictures are of Aunt Mary.
Hewie, I got another one for you. This is an important one. With all of this AI going on, how do we know all of these videos that are getting generated? How are we going to know what's real, what's fake?
You won't. That is an issue. And the politicians are trying to figure that out too, uh, and they're trying to come up with ways somehow to be able to do it. I know Google in their Gemini, they will put an indicator on the, a little watermark on there, and on a photo. And so when you see it and you see that watermark, you'll know that it is AI generated. But there's programs that take off watermarks and can, or they can, you can cover it up with something else on the picture. And so it wouldn't help. So yes, this is one of the big problems we're having. If you look at a YouTube, and I watch YouTube, I do most of my TV work now on YouTube, not YouTube TV, but YouTube, and I'll look at some of these newscasts, and they had me completely faked out on one that I had been watching a whole series about some people in government, not our government, but in the English government, and then I saw some photos in a newscast. The whole thing was fake. None of it was true. So you've got to be very careful. There is a lot of fake stuff out there too. It's so easy, and you saw what I could do with Bob, and you saw some of the videos of me and in my voice in there. I'm with 15 seconds of my voice, it can make it so no matter what I type in, it will record and use my voice as the voice of it. So yeah, there's it's something you got to be really careful, but you got to be mindful of it. So don't not learn about AI because you don't want to know all this stuff. You've got to be able to tell what is fake and what is real. And I get a couple of newsletters where on a regular basis I'll have two pictures. Which one is real and which one's fake? Which one's AI? And you know what? I can't tell. So yeah, it's an issue. And the other thing, of course, is plagiarism, and especially in schools. You know, kids are looking up, so they're having it write papers for them. But there are some programs out there, some apps and programs that'll look at the videos and look at the images and read the documents or the papers and so on, and will tell you that it believes it's fake or it's 75% AI or it's 30% AI. So there are ways to tell, but it's like anything else. The bad guys are using it to create viruses or to malware and get into computers. Because, just because we can use this stuff doesn't mean they can't, and they do.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone else? Okay.
I just finished a YouTube video about an indigenous group of people who live in the Amazon jungle. What I'd like to know, my question is, which one of the AI tools that you talked about would be the best one to give a summary of that YouTube and where events happen within that YouTube?
Well, you can use any of the AI programs or the chat programs and just ask it what apps can I use to summarize some videos or some of the things that I've mentioned on here. The Kagi, Kagi, was one of them, and there's some others where. And if you go to YouTube itself, YouTube will have you can get add-ons for your browser that will summarize right there, and you don't even have to leave the browser, and it'll give you a summary of the video.
Okay, any other questions? Wait a minute, hold on.
Since I don't want you to all bolt, but as a public service announcement, you know how Microsoft said in October, Windows 10 was gonna be no good. And now, this October, they're saying that you have to have 11, or you can pay $30 and they will still provide you with the patches and the updates and the security for 10. So you don't have to buy a new computer.
That's true, and even Windows. A lot of what I showed you, you can do in Windows 10 too.
Okay, any other questions? No, I think Huey, I think we're good to go.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming, and don't forget, October 8th, it's on Thursday, will be our next general meeting.
Thank you, Huey.
And the
You're welcome.
presenter
Are they hearing me now too?
newsletter. Thank you.
All righty. All right. If you could send me that video when you get a second.
Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you. That was good. That was great.
You see why I wanted some pictures from you.
Oh yeah, that was classic. Oh, hey, I'll get one thing I can tell you. It only took 73 years, but I finally made the big screen. Oh man, that was great. All right, man. Well, thank you very much.